Bro, I almost didn't go live today because I was so tilted earlier today. Oh my god, but I feel fine now, honestly. Yo, Mary Mydra, thank you for the 18 months. It was seeing that storm, like, it me off, but it's, like, hard to think about anything else. Why tilted? Oh my gosh. I'm, like, still debating if, like, I actually want to, like, talk about this stuff and fully give attention to it, but... So you guys know how, like, I never really, like, talk about, like, personal stuff or, like, drama on stream at all, unless it's, like, I kind of, like, have to for, like, a certain point. Well, I would say that, like, for the most part, doing that has only pros. Like, I've never really regretted choosing to be that kind of content creator, but there is one con that when you don't say things or, like, don't like talk about super personal stuff all the time or like your feelings about certain things, it leaves people room to like lie and make up, and it's so annoying. But I'm like, I don't think normal people really like, it's like who cares? Like, I don't know. No one's that worried about my life unless they're weirdos, so I'm like, why even? I don't know. I might still talk about it, but I'm still deciding. I swear, like, for so many years, like, honestly, like, probably, like, 5 years, I don't know why, every time, like, something crazy happens, people just are like, well, what does she think about this? And I'm like, do I need to, like, am I, like, the police or something? Like, oh, what do you mean? I didn't know my opinion was so important to you people. I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, literally, I feel like literally every time there has been a situation that, like, directly involved me, I have always, like, talked about it, but it's not, it's like I said, I feel like, for the most part, it's 99% pros to choosing not to, you know, be a part of people farming that kind of stuff, but it does allow people to lie and pretend to be stupid, and, like, it's like, bro, and also assume that they know, like, everything about my life and who I'm friends with, like, bro, like, oh my gosh! Like, you're like, oh, what about this? And it's like, bro, like, use your brain. I probably won't. And we'll see. I might talk about it next stream, but maybe not. We might have Red Dead Redemption 1 to play. There's more important things.
Avatars masquerade as extensions of the self, and reputations are constructed, deconstructed, and reconstructed at the of a refresh button. There emerges a moment of introspective candor from Emiru that transcends the quotidian churn of live stream banter and ascends into the rarefied domain of existential rumination. This is not merely the lamentation of a content creator besieged by ephemeral waves of online hostility. It is a profound meditation on the ontology of visibility, the economics of attention, and the paradoxical burdens of being both hyperpresent and selectively silent within a hyperconnected world that demands perpetual disclosure. One must, with an almost scholastic zeal and a sprinkling of irreverent streetwise sagacity, interrogate the dialectics at play in this unfolding narrative. For here lies a creator who has, through deliberate calibration, chosen a modus operandi characterized by restraint and intentional eschewal of the performative oversharing that has become de rigueur in the influencer ecosystem. This decision, far from being an abdication of authenticity, is in fact a curated assertion of boundaries, a declaration that not every fragment of lived experience is destined for public consumption. Yet, as the discourse reveals, such restraint is not without its attendant complications, for in the vacuum created by silence, speculation germinates with alarming fecundity. The phenomenon under examination can be likened to a digital hydra, where each unaddressed rumor sprouts multiple heads of conjecture, each more fantastical than the last. The refusal to engage in the relentless cycle of explanation and rebuttal, while preserving a semblance of personal sanctity, inadvertently creates a fertile ground for narratives untethered from reality. It is within this liminal space between what is said and what is unsaid that the audience, or at least a vociferous subset thereof, begins to construct its own mythology, projecting motives, emotions, and histories onto a figure who remains, by design, partially obscured. In the case of Emiru, this dynamic manifests as a tension between the overwhelming preponderance of benefits derived from maintaining privacy and the singular, yet potent, drawback of relinquishing control over one's narrative. The benefits are manifold. A reduced entanglement in the aksar toxic parisanstha of online drama, a preservation of mental equilibrium, and the ability to focus on the creative and manoranjak aspects of content production. These are not trivial gains. They constitute the very foundation upon which sustainable digital careers are built. And yet, the drawback, this creeping encroachment of misinformation, operates as a persistent irritant, a reminder that silence, while dignified, is not always interpreted as such. The expectation that a public figure must serve as a perpetual commentator on every ghutna, whether tangentially related or entirely extraneous, introduces another layer of complexity. It is an expectation rooted in a peculiar inversion of agency, wherein the audience, emboldened by proximity and familiarity, begins to perceive itself as entitled to the inner workings of the creator's mind. The question ceases to be whether the creator wishes to speak and becomes instead why they have not spoken. In this inversion, silence is no longer neutral. It is imbued with meaning, often negative, often accusatory. This dynamic is further exacerbated by the algorithmic architectures that underpin platforms like Twitch, where engagement is both the currency and the catalyst of visibility. Controversy, with its to galvanize attention, becomes a powerful force, incentivizing the amplification of drama and the perpetuation of narratives that may bear little resemblance to. Within such an environment, the decision to abstain from drama is, in many ways, an act of quiet rebellion, a refusal to participate in a system that thrives on perpetual agitation. Yet rebellion, even in its quietest forms, is rarely without consequence. The internal conflict expressed by Emiru, the oscillation between the desire to address falsehoods and the reluctance to descend into the morass of public vivad, captures the essence of this dilemma. To speak is to risk amplifying the very narratives one seeks to dispel, to lend them a legitimacy they might otherwise lack. To remain silent is to cede the narrative to others, to allow distortions to calcify into perceived truths. It is a classic catch bias, a Gordian knot of digital era existence that resists easy samadhan. One cannot overlook the psychological dimensions of this predicament. The experience of being the subject of persistent speculation, of having one's identity and intentions dissected by strangers operating with incomplete or erroneous information, is not merely an abstract inconvenience, it is a tangible source of tanav. The human psyche, no matter how resilient, is not impervious to the cumulative of such scrutiny. And yet, the expectation persists that public figures must navigate these challenges with unwavering composure, their internal struggles rendered invisible behind the veneer of curated content. The reference to the longevity of this experience, spanning years rather than fleeting moments, adds a temporal depth that underscores its significance. This is not an isolated ghutna but a recurring pattern, a cyclical phenomenon that re-emerges with each naya controversy, each naya wave of speculation. The endurance required to navigate such a landscape is itself a testament to the fortitude of the individual, a quiet acknowledgement of the resilience that underpins sustained visibility in the digital age. Moreover, the casual pivot toward mundane considerations, such as the contemplation of engaging with a video game like Red Dead Redemption, serves as a poignant reminder of the duality inherent in the creator's existence. On one hand, there is the weight of public scrutiny, the incessant hum of discourse that surrounds their persona. On the other hand, there is the simple desire to engage in ordinary activities, to find respite in moments of leisure that are, in many ways, universal. This juxtaposition highlights the humanity that persists beneath the layers of public perception, a humanity that is often obscured by the very mechanisms that elevate individuals to prominence. In examining this narrative through a broader lens, one is compelled to consider the cultural implications of such dynamics. The interplay between privacy and visibility, between narrative control and audience expectation, is not confined to a single individual, but is emblematic of a defined by unprecedented levels of connectivity. The boundaries between public and private have become increasingly porous, their delineation subject to constant negotiation. In this context, the choices made by individuals like Emiru take on a significance that extends beyond personal preference, contributing to an evolving discourse, the ethics and expectations of digital life.